as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Ludwig.
Hey guys, how's it going?
So, as you guys probably know, we've been on a bit of a hiatus lately for a couple of months. Well, I don't want to get too into what happened, but essentially, my mom, who I live with, decided that she was entitled to free labor from me.
Right, yeah.
That she was entitled to, I guess, tribute from me. And, naturally, as a leftist, just out of principle, I refused.
Of course. Yeah.
Right? And she decided in response to that she could expropriate me of my computer for a while. So, yeah, I didn't have a computer, couldn't record, couldn't do anything.
Your mom's a freaking capitalist, man.
Yeah, no, she's like literally like a capitalist and a landlord rolled into one.
She's a feudal lord.
Yeah.
Neo-feudalism in real life is when you get your computer taken away from you.
Honestly, like it is.
Yeah.
Like it was like literally like a modern parallel to like enclosure.
Yeah.
Okay, but enough about that. Today we're going to be covering, I'm sure most of the people listening here, if you're terminally online, you'll be familiar with the work of Ethan Klein in H3 Productions.
They better be, yeah.
Well, right, yeah. But yeah, so in recent times, he's come under a lot of scrutiny regarding the whole Israel-Palestine thing, which, to be clear for our listeners, that whole conflict, it's the current thing, basically.
Yeah.
Don't think about it too much. Don't participate in discourse about it, because it's just the current
thing. Yeah. In 2024.
So yeah, exactly, yeah. In 2024, the current thing. So, yeah, just don't buy into it, don't buy into the discourse. But anyways, this prompted us to really want to dig deeper into the history of Ethan Klein and really analyze his downfall, essentially. Starting from the beginning, starting from the rise, and then doing the fall.
Yeah.
The fall.
The fall of Ethan Klein.
That's right. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today. Let's get started, man. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Okay. H3, Ethan Klein, the H3 podcast. All different names leading back to YouTube's hero of fair use. His main channel has been on decline for a while. At least it seems that way. In reality, it would be wrong to say that because, he's still getting views on the H3 podcast. However, there are other aspects which determine whether or not a channel has fallen off,
Yeah. Definitely.
Basically,
I think how much a channel gets clipped by other people is kind of shows you how bad it's getting.
Yeah, and just the general trend of H3 has been a downward slope in support because he has all these controversies. He's been betraying his creator friends. But his story is very complex. First off, he started off beloved the YouTube community, but then he became really this sort of like corporate golden boy almost. You think?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. He tried to monetize.
The story. Okay, well, let's go. Let's start from the beginning. His story starts in 2007 when he went on a birthright trip, which, for those who don't know, basically, when you're like a young adult, you get like a free trip to Israel if you're Jewish American. um, to sort of like learn about your culture and roots and stuff. Um, so yeah, he had like anxiety that was preventing him from wanting to go on the trip, but the fear of missing out just overpowered him, and he had to go. And this is where he met his future wife, Ela Klein.
Mm.
But he chose a very a very unconventional location to introduce himself to her. He introduced himself to her at a Holocaust museum.
That's so Ethan.
That is so Ethan. Yeah, sorry, I'm just cracking up at the sheer
Mm.
absurdity of that.
Yeah.
Um, so they started a long distance relationship after he moved back to the States, and Ela eventually moved to America to stay with Ethan in Santa Cruz,
Right.
California, which is a college town. Which is full of
Mm.
scenic and romantic settings. But I mean, if you're a leftist and you're familiar with recent history, you know that 2008 there was a recession, and that really messed things up for them. That made it so they couldn't afford
Right.
rent, and Ela basically it really seemed like she would have to move back to live with her parents. This culminated in one grocery shopping trip where they had to put back a single red pepper because it was too expensive. They couldn't afford it. So that just goes to show the sort of dire financial situation they were in at the time. But
Right.
Ela's visa eventually expired and she had to move back to Israel. But she started majoring in an arts degree of some sort, a video art class, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's art in the form of video. You create like strange but
It,
unique videos, um, and naturally they needed somewhere to host these videos, and lo and behold, YouTube.
it was right there the whole time.
So it was right there the whole time, yeah. And they figured out that when they started their YouTube channel that Ethan's initials were his first and middle name were EE. Ela's first and last name were HH. So they decided to call it He Productions, but that was already taken. So what they ended up doing was calling it H3 Productions.
Mm.
So around
That's
2011, they
ingenious.
start putting videos on the channel, but they were very inexperienced. They were only making videos for Ela's class essentially, and the first video they made, basically Ela had to make a video about someone losing control to an addiction. So Ethan made a video. They made a video about Ethan being addicted to chocolate.
Of course.
Any comment? Any comment on this video, Ludwig?
Ethan Klein was dropped as a sponsor for Old Spice.
Was he really?
Yeah. According to the reports, it shows that it shows that Old Spice ended its sponsorship with H3H3 Productions' Ethan Klein. This is after the incident when unverified screenshots of DMs are purportedly sent between the Old Spice Twitter account and anonymous Twitter user.
Really? Damn, that's fucked up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
well, anyways, when you look at the channel H3H3 in the Wayback Machine, what it will show is that Ethan clearly had more influence on like the videos that were being put out. Some of the videos they made used other popular content and basically remixed it and like use these crazy edits to create like a crazy auditory situation that overwhelms the listener. I'm sorry, I was just thinking about one of the videos they made, the warmitup.exe.
Right.
Such a good video.
That's a classic.
While it is true that Ela's art class had an influence on the videos, the bigger influence on Ethan was the niche Adult Swim show, Tim and Eric Awesome Show, Great Job. That
Right.
just like Ethan's videos emphasized awkward editing to create tension that was very humorous.
Mm.
Have you ever seen that show, man? Tim and Eric? I think that guy
I've seen a
screwed
few
over
sketches
Sam Hyde, if I
from it,
remember
yeah.
correctly. Yeah, no,
Oh, yeah,
fuck Tim
totally.
Heidecker.
He called
Fuck
into
him.
his show. Yeah, fucked him. Fucked him.
Yeah, he got he got Sam Hyde off of Adult Swim. Fuck him. Anyways,
Fucked him, Heidecker.
exactly, yeah. Anything you want to add about the rise of Ethan? Any comments you'd like to add?
Sorry, I choked on my drink.
No, you're good, man.
Oh. Did you know that he started his career as a marketing executive?
Really?
Yeah, he began his career as a marketing executive in Israel. In 2013, he created a few videos for Ela's college projects, which he later posted on his YouTube channel, H3H3 Productions. The channel was
Interesting.
created back in 2011. The videos started gaining popularity, and that made Ethan create more such videos. The video titled Vape Nation, all caps, is the most popular reaction video on the channel and has garnered over 20 million views. Their
20
channel has garnered remarkable fame for criticizing certain internet trends, personality, and a few scare quotes YouTube policies. The channel has earned over 6 million subscribers and was named the quote YouTube channel of the year by quote Reddit in 2016.
Interesting. So,
Yeah.
YouTube channel of the year. Wow. What a that really just
Yeah,
goes to show the
2016.
sort of high peaks that he ascended to before his downfall, you know?
Yeah.
But anyways, he started making longer videos, and
and
longer videos means more ads and more money, you know? And basically, people are getting a larger taste of Ethan's personality and reaction style, and that meant more views and more notoriety in the YouTube community.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah. To oversimplify what fair use is, it's you can use a copyrighted video so long as you transform the message, and basically it has to be transformative for it to be fair use.
Mm. Yeah.
Like, take for example the woman, the video of the woman promoting her overpriced diamond water that they reacted to. You know, they completely transformed that. So it was fair use in that instance.
Yeah,
There were many
definitely.
many things that made his reaction. Sorry, Jesus Christ. No, sorry about that, guys. I was just watching Sam Hyde earlier today, and I just can't stop thinking about it and laughing. So apologies for all the giggling. It's just I don't know. Sometimes I get really fixated on things, and I can't
Right.
stop thinking about them. And yeah, no, sorry. If you know, you
He's
know.
pretty funny, man.
I'll just say that. Yeah, if you know, you know. Anyways, over time,
Yeah.
the biggest change in
If
their
you're online,
channel,
you know.
yeah, the biggest change in H3H3 was that um, they were doing these unique reaction videos, which were more and more over time getting more views and becoming and like I said
Mm,
before, they were gaining more notoriety within the YouTube scene.
right.
Ela made this very weird doll, and Ethan at some point grabbed the doll and started imitating the comedian Jeff Dunham with it, and so they called it Dunny after Jeff Dunham, the comedian.
Yeah.
And people loved it, when they saw the doll. So basically, what they started doing is making them and selling them online for $40 each. You could get a dunny online,
Whoa.
which definitely along
40
with
bucks
a
is a lot, man.
yeah, especially back then before all the inflation, that was worth like a ton.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, eventually Ela could become a resident of the United States, and they made a video titled "See Ya Israel" about that, and yeah, it was like a vlog video called "See Ya Israel."
Right.
Their other channel, H2 Productions, had a couple of videos that were like vlogs of them just like doing stuff. Also, at this time, they were also collaborating with channels such as Filthy Frank and JonTron. Around this time, have you seen either of those guys' videos? Ludwig.
Mm.
Have you ever heard of Filthy
Yeah. I
Frank or
remember
JonTron?
all the good old Filthy Frank videos and
Yeah, dude, it's like
JonTron sort
nostalgia,
of
right?
like would all. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I used to watch all the JonTron videos and Filthy Frank videos back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Me too. So good. Anyway, you can hear me, right? You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So they would criticize like prank channels for their deceitfulness. And to emphasize the growth of the upward trend of the channel at this time, within 1 year they had gained 10 times more subscribers, if you can believe that.
That's crazy.
And I think while when your channel grows, obviously it's great, you know, like you get more revenue, more fans, but it's difficult for that to counterbalance the growing negative attention that you also receive. Um, so they made videos about this guy called Soflo Antonio, who made like prank videos in addition to like freebooting, essentially, which means stealing other people's videos and like putting them up as your own content with no credit given.
He's plagiarizing, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like the video that was like, I can't lie, this is definitely me when I'm driving.
Right.
And then he just like stole someone else's like comedy skit.
Yeah.
Dude, fuck Soflo Antonio.
Fuck Soflo Antonio.
Fuck that piece of shit.
Yeah, fuck him.
Fucking piece of shit.
Fucking asshole.
Fuck that asshole.
Fuck Soflo Antonio.
Exactly, yeah, fuck that guy. But anyways. So, he got like 25 million views off that video that he stole, when the woman who made it originally only got like 500,000, just to show you just how like fucked up the shit was.
That was fucked up. That's some fucked up shit.
Yeah. So Ethan made like a fake Facebook page as a joke to sort of like basically throw back the shit SoFlo does in his face.
Right.
And they called it SoFlo Bro.
Right.
And then they basically did the same thing that SoFlo does, where they like put like add a little intro to someone else's content and then just like don't credit them at all, and and you know, it's like people aren't watching for the intro, they're watching for like the main like meat of the content that you're stealing. So you can basically get free views with no effort. So that's what they did, just like fuck with him.
Fuck that guy.
Interestingly enough, it all worked out in a way where the SoFlo Bro page got shut down. And if you had liked that page, the like was transferred to the real SoFlo Antonio page.
Right.
Which, I mean, just is absurd, you know?
That's crazy. That would be like if we got shut down.
What the fuck, man?
All of our listeners would go to like Red Scare or something.
Well, no, it wouldn't. It would be like if all of our listeners went to like YouTube Rewind or some other lib shit.
Right. Yeah.
Because like it would be based, I think, if all of our listeners. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because like that's what we're in opposition to, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas, which so therefore it's more analogous to what's happening with SoFlo Bro.
Mm.
But anyways, they were able to get the page reinstated, but SoFlo made a video called H3 Productions Exposed,
Whoa.
where he basically accused Ethan of doing the same thing with his content. That the whole idea of stealing someone else's content and like adding an intro to it or whatever, which Ethan criticized SoFlo for. SoFlo turned that criticism back around at Ethan, but what he really didn't take into account, or I guess he didn't want to take into account, was that Ethan's content is transformative, unlike his.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. And SoFlo threatened to sue him for definite defamation, I believe.
Right.
Which I mean is essentially like calling the cops. Which fuck. I mean, well, actually, I think there are some, like in China, for example.
Yeah.
I think the cops are pretty based over there. So
The cops would
I'm
have
not
been
gonna say-
based in
I'm
the
not gonna say all-
USSR too.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say like fuck every cop who's ever
Yeah.
existed. Plus, I mean, in America too, there are plenty of cops who are like the other day. A cop came into my work and we had like a totally like irony poisoned riff session.
Yeah, yeah.
So obviously, not every cop is a bad guy, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. A cop once helped me find
It's, like,
my bike
fucked up.
that was stolen.
For real.
Yeah, so I think that's a good cop.
Damn, that's a good one, definitely. Who stole it?
I have no idea. They just found
Probably
it.
some lumpen proletariat.
Yeah, yeah, some lumpen prole, probably.
Yeah.
Fuck the lumpen proletariat.
Honestly, dude, sometimes I feel that.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Hold on. Let me just check my notes real quick. Sorry, one sec. So basically, Ethan told SoFlo that he should just embrace the meme, instead of causing all this bullshit. He's not gonna win, He's a piece of shit. No one likes him.
Yeah.
So just embrace the meme is what Ethan said.
Yeah, exactly.
And eventually, SoFlo ended up embracing the meme with a video that he made, sort of like winking at the situation he was in, which, all things considered, is a nice way to wrap up this drama.
Right.
But anyways, are you familiar with Leafy's here?
Yeah, I remember. I remember that guy.
Yeah, his videos were pretty good. But anyways, Ethan made a video criticizing him for making fun of kids, vulnerable people. And he thought that he was like, that's fucked up. Like, you don't need to make fun of people like that. And like by virtue, every time Leafy made a video, he was essentially sending millions of kids to like harass them.
Right.
You know, or that was the point Ethan was making about Leafy's
Mm.
content.
Right.
But Leafy responded by basically showing that Ethan made fun of kids himself in a lot of the videos he made.
Right. He's calling him a hypocrite.
Essentially,
Yeah.
yeah, essentially. Even if Ethan's content was much more tame than Leafy's, he responded labeling him as a hypocrite.
Right.
Leafy furthermore exposed him for like talking shit and like betraying people behind the scenes. Other YouTubers.
Mm.
And he eventually deleted the video because it received a large amount of backlash. So he deleted the
Yeah.
video and made peace with Leafy. But for the time, you know, people still didn't really associate him, his whole brand, with this sort of drama. They thought when they thought about Ethan, they thought about his fupa, you know.
Yeah. Right. Did you
He
know
made
that
a
he's
video
been
where
nominated for Streamy Awards?
Oh yeah, what's that?
The YouTuber Ethan Klein has been a nominee for the Streamy Award for continuous 3 years from 2018 to 2020 for Best Podcast, H3 Podcast. He shared this with Hila Klein.
Oh, so it was like a podcast award, like the best podcast wins.
Right, yeah, yeah.
Okay, interesting. Then they made the channel Ethan and Ela, where Ela joined in on the commentary videos.
Mm.
They made a video about Bold Guy versus Parkour Girl, which is like a really hard to watch, awkward video.
Mm.
And the video was like fair use. The original video was only 5 minutes 25 seconds. Their video 13 minutes 47 seconds. So pretty clearly, they were adding something to it. Pretty clearly falls under fair use. I think we could all agree.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, whether or not something's truly transformative is ultimately a subjective opinion. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
It's up to the judge and the jury to decide if something's fair use,
Right.
or copyright infringement.
Mm.
And it was unknown to the YouTube community at the time, but the guy who made the Bold Guy video, he was threatening to sue Ethan and Ela.
That's fucked up, man.
Yeah. But they didn't take it seriously because it happened to them a lot. You know, people would threaten to sue them all the time
Yeah.
because of just the nature of their content. So they didn't take it seriously. But then their video got taken down, and they had a copyright strike, and they were officially being sued.
Mm.
And they didn't want to crowdfund the lawsuit essentially because they had already asked their viewers of too much,
Right.
so they didn't want to resort to crowdfunding for their lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, this lawsuit was an attack against YouTube as a whole.
Definitely.
Which is why Philip DeFranco started a GoFundMe for them, which started off with $5,000,
That's a lot of money.
and a lot of people followed suit and donated to the GoFundMe.
Yeah.
And they even each H3 donated some of his own money because the hope was that there would be some left over after the lawsuit, and so there would be just like a fund that they could set up for different creators called FUPA, Fair Use Protection Association, which would basically help pay legal fees for other creators
Yeah.
getting stuck in similar situations. So, but anyways, they were experiencing burnout around this time because their videos were hard to make. There was some other stress going on.
Mm-hmm.
And, they just didn't want to have to deal with this shit anymore. These lawsuits, this legal bullshit.
Yeah.
So they were less inclined to make reaction videos around this time. Anything you'd like to add?
He has multiple podcasts. The H3 podcast was created by Klein. It was originally streamed on Twitch before it was moved to YouTube in 2017. The podcast uploaded the first episode that was featuring Justin Roiland and the co-creator of Rick and Morty. The H3 podcast is one of the United States' highest-ranking podcasts since 2020. The channel launched several new podcasts, including the H3 After Dark, H3 TV, Leftover, and Off the Rails. All podcast new episodes are always uploaded every week. Frenemies was the podcast that was used to discuss internet drama. The podcast was co-hosted by the YouTuber and Trisha Paytas before they quit.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, really a wide body of work.
Right.
I mean, like, like literally,
Yeah,
when you look at
with his
Ethan, wide
fupa.
body. Well, fupa, wide fupa.
Yeah.
But yeah, like his fupa, the different projects he's worked on is vast. You could say.
Yeah. Definitely.
Ethan and Ela started getting hate from the "Dicks Out for Harambe" video, where they just did a bunch of face swaps, and I guess people didn't like it.
Yeah.
Joey Salads started making these like obviously fake videos, so Ethan called them out.
Right.
But Joey Salads' fans gave him a lot of backlash, so he privated the video.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, dude. It was a long night last night. I had to watch the binge Sam Hyde this morning.
Yeah.
So that's completely messing up my rhythm.
I totally understand.
So I'm sorry about that for anyone listening. But anyways, and they didn't want to punch down with their content.
Right.
Anyways, at the eve of the 2016 election, Ethan made a video about how like you shouldn't listen to YouTubers on who to vote for, essentially.
Right.
Like listen to someone smarter, not just like a silly YouTuber, essentially. But even then, fans saw that as a heavily politicized video, which got more backlash. And I mean, this was just another video in a string of increasingly poorly received videos from him.
Mm-hmm.
Joey Salads made a video that was where he put like a bunch of like Trump stickers on a car and then it got destroyed, which was fake. And Ethan proved that Joey Salads' videos were fake.
Right.
Basically. And people thought that was very admirable because he faced like such strong opposition from the Joey Salads fan base, but it turns out that he was right. So in a way, he sort of rebounded. Ethan had like a little debate with Joey Salads, and he just like crushed him.
Yeah.
He had many strong arguments ready to go before the debate, so he just... And Joey Salads admitted that the videos were fake, and Ethan was like, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
I told you so.
Yeah.
It must have been like one of his biggest dubs.
Yeah,
in his career.
That's a huge dub.
If we're being real, getting Joey Salads to admit to his face that he was faking videos. Anyways, he started the H3 podcast. It featured iDubbbz and the creators of Rick and Morty, among other guests. Ethan, in the podcast with iDubbbz, he used many of iDubbbz's catchphrases, one of which is a combination of two very offensive words. And so, basically on recording, you had Ethan saying these two very offensive words, essentially.
Right.
PewDiePie had a controversy where he paid people on Fiverr to read a controversial message. And Ethan, in response to that, made a video, "Is PewDiePie a racist?" where he openly defended his friend. Said people were taking his videos out of context. And the articles were made in like videos accusing PewDiePie of being racist, essentially, were just out of greed. And just shame on them,
Yeah,
you know?
fuck those guys.
It's yeah, it's not, there's no excuse, really. There's no excuse for that.
Absolutely not. Fuck those
I'm fucking
guys.
sick. I'm sick of this shit, you know? I'm sick of people doing shit like that and thinking they can get away with
Fuck
it.
those pieces of trash.
Fuck them, yeah.
Fuck them.
They're trash,
They're
literally.
trash.
Throw them away. Throw them in the dumpster. And it's like they're getting offended for people who are not offended,
Right.
basically. That's like the sick irony of it.
They must be miserable fucks.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking laughable.
It is. Fuck those guys.
That's why I'm laughing. That's why I can't help but laugh right now because it's so
You're
absurd.
thinking about how much they suck.
Yeah. Honestly, they suck so much shit. Like, am I wrong?
No, not at all.
I don't think I'm wrong. You know, they just suck ass.
They just fucking suck.
Yeah, right? Anyways, sorry, let's get off that tangent. Anyways, H3H3 was getting sponsorships, and that was starting to be a larger portion of their income from videos.
Mm-hmm.
The H3H3 podcast was created April 7th, 2017.
Mm-hmm.
So their podcast that they started was the perfect answer to the problems that they were facing.
Yeah.
7 out of their 8 videos. 7 out of their 8 videos made them almost no money.
Mm-hmm.
So podcasts seemed like the optimal direction to go, basically.
Yeah.
As far as content creation. That was the way to go for them.
Right.
It set a new precedent for the YouTube community. And they eventually won the lawsuit against Matt Haas.
Fat Hoss.
Which was another massive W for them.
How about Fat Hoss?
Yeah. Fat Dross.
Fat Dross.
Asshole.
Fuck that guy.
Anyways. Anyways, that video was only... Oh my god. Dude, sorry, I just remembered that fucking Sam Hyde video.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the video, Moms, that they made?
Oh yeah, dude. That's a classic.
You know that part when Nick says the R word?
Yeah. That's hilarious.
I can't stop thinking. It's so funny, dude.
It is so fucking funny.
Sorry, I just couldn't stop. I couldn't. There I go again. I can't stop thinking about it and laughing.
It's pretty funny.
But anyways, sorry. We keep getting off track. I'm sorry, guys. When creators like H3H3 are making a video and planning it, and has points that are revised, it's a process that can take like hours and days, you know, because you have to think about what to say and how to say it, essentially.
Yeah.
And edit out like all the bad parts.
Yeah, like us.
Which, I mean,
like
is kind of deceptive to do that for a podcast, but it is efficient in making quality content.
Mm-hmm.
However, it can confuse the creator's filtered online persona with their actual, like, unfiltered personality.
Mm-hmm.
So you see the entirety of him and his mistakes, which, I mean, is a whole different world, essentially, in content creation. Like, most people don't want to sign up for that, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, would you want to add anything to that?
Ethan is the wealthiest YouTuber. According to reports, the estimated Ethan Klein net worth is around $20.2 million. The estimation of his net worth comes from his YouTube channel and other social media accounts, such as Twitter and Instagram. In 2017, Ethan and Hila spent $780,000 on their first Los Angeles home together in the town of Woodland Hills. In 2018, the couple spent $2.3 million in a home in Encino. In November 2019, Ethan and Hila Klein spent $9 million on a large estate in Bel Air, California. It is within a guarded community. The 7,500 lavish estate has 6 bedrooms and sits on just over an acre, and they still own both previous homes.
Oh, really? So multiple homes, huh?
That's right, yeah.
Sort of like a real estate empire going on.
Yeah, bit of a landlord.
That, yeah, that might explain why his videos went to shit so fast.
Yeah, because he became a piece of shit.
Yeah, because of the class interests,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is something a lot of people don't like, sort of underemphasize. But as like a materialist, I think it's always important to take into account the class interests at play.
Of course,
in situations like this. Would you agree?
I would agree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, sorry, give me one sec.
No problem.
So PewDiePie said the N word
Mm-hmm.
in a fit of frustration. Yeah, he said a word that begins with N, ends with R, and it's not neighbor.
Right.
But basically this triggered an adpocalypse in YouTube, which happens when like advertisers, for whatever reason, decide to like pull out from YouTube, and this dramatically affects the income of creators.
Right.
And Ethan ended up criticizing PewDiePie for saying the N word.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like his point was like, oh well, he seems to be very comfortable using that word.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And they highlighted how the situation would make the adpocalypse more unbearable, basically. But people said that it was hypocritical because, like I mentioned before, in the iDubbbz episode of the H3H3 podcast, Ethan had said that word, the N word.
Yeah.
He had said that word before, so people were like, well, this is hypocritical of you to criticize PewDiePie.
Because he said it.
And he said, yeah, exactly, yeah. It was very hypocritical of him.
That is hypocritical.
I mean, he insisted that there was like a difference of intention, but I don't know, man. And his video about PewDiePie got a lot of dislikes because of that.
Yeah, it would.
Mm-hmm. Some tried redeeming Ethan in the comments, but a lot of people were surprised that he found himself in the controversy, such as drama alert, and they thought he made a massive mistake by doubling down.
Mm-hmm.
He called Keemstar and Scarce plebeian
Right.
to double down. Which I mean, I think that's honestly kind of based of him
Yeah,
to use that
it's
term.
definitely based.
Very very Roman
Mm-hmm.
Empire minded
That's so based.
thing to say. So I don't know. Maybe he is a little like me. You know,
Yeah,
maybe we do have some things in common because this guy is clearly a Roman Empire head.
definitely. He's
Anyways,
regime
he was
pilled.
on a podcast. Yeah, he was on a podcast with some of his friends, and he was venting about all of the criticism he was receiving.
Mm-hmm.
Which a bigger fear in many was that this was a larger part of Ethan. In the next episode, he apologized for what he called his drunken rant, and he trimmed the rant from his previous
Mm-hmm.
podcast because many people knew about it. The damage had already been done.
Right.
Um, were you familiar at all with his drunken rant?
I don't think I've seen it.
Do you remember that? Yeah, I don't know. I guess he was just like ranting and raving about just like the shit that gets him down
Mm-hmm.
in life,
Mm-hmm.
all the bullshit he has to deal with.
I bet he was fed up of all the bullshit.
Um, yeah, you could say
Mm-hmm.
that definitely. JonTron had a debate with Destiny, which and JonTron faced a lot of backlash for that.
Mm-hmm.
However, he eventually returned. JonTron appeared on the H3H3 podcast after that. But halfway, Ethan brings up the debate and says he doesn't want to get too much into it,
Mm-hmm.
and that JonTron doesn't have to comment. Um,
Right.
yeah. Anyways, there was a lot of backlash again. People were upset about what JonTron had said.
Mm-hmm.
But Ethan was like, we don't need to get too deep into this, you know. If you're uncomfortable talking about it, you know, please let's not talk about
Yeah.
it. And John Trump was like, well, I'm sure people want to hear about this. It's sort of a minefield of sorts, so I'm not going to get too into it,
Right.
but um, and John Tron admitted that he had like gotten arrogant with the debate,
Mm-hmm.
and he understands why people had the reaction that they did.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, and he admits that it was like a bad look.
Mm-hmm.
Um, John Tron insisted that he's not a racist or a Nazi,
Right.
and he said that like he feels bad that you can't talk about that stuff without like a witch hunt, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But John, like, clearly didn't want to get too into it because it's something that he regrets, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, he tried to cue Ethan to, like, move on.
Right.
But Ethan kept, like, pestering him about it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Ethan, uh, he, Ethan was like, he was like, no, it's okay if you don't want to talk about it. But then he just kept asking him about
Yeah,
it.
yeah. He was like pressuring him.
Yeah, pressuring him and just like trying to get him to talk about this thing that he regrets. And John Tron like kept saying that he wants to move on, and he doesn't want to get into it. And Ethan just was
Yeah.
relentless. He wouldn't stop. Wouldn't leave him be.
You should have just left him alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that's the really fucked up part.
Yeah.
Is it was completely unnecessary. Completely unnecessary of Ethan.
Mm-hmm.
And like John Tron said that like he learned a lot from the experience, but he still wants to move on, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But Ethan, yeah, Ethan just wouldn't stop, man. It's fucked up, you know. I just can't get over like how fucked up the situation was. One of like the worst weeks of my life was when this video came out. You know,
Yeah.
like it was like, well, what the fuck do I do? Like this guy who I admired, it turns out he's kind of a piece of shit. You know, like he won't give John Tron a break. You know, like literally.
Yeah,
like,
literally.
What the fuck was his problem?
Mm-hmm.
You know, he wouldn't give John Tron a fucking break. Like for what?
Why not?
Yeah, for what? Like man, he really had a downfall.
Yeah, he fucking sucks now.
He really had a downfall at Ethan Klein.
It's so sad.
Yeah. Anyways, let's move on to another chapter in the downfall of Ethan Klein.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. He made a he made a beanie that screams and coughs,
Mm-hmm.
just like he does.
Right.
But even though this guy made this funny beanie for them, he got kicked. He got kicked off the podcast.
What for?
Dude, it's just fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Man. He's a selfish asshole. That's why.
Fuck him.
Just like another. Like I don't know. It's like his own flaws sort of contributed to his demise.
Yeah,
I think.
definitely.
So yeah, he gave the guy a short time slot. Then he kicked him out after his time slot. Third, lack of questions about him rather than what he is best known for. For the titling and the thumbnail of the episode, didn't even have his name.
Mm-hmm.
Just said coughing beanie. Reduced the whole man to just
A commodity.
just a silly thing he made. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, commodification of a man. which I mean, it happens to all of us. It's just like a fact of capitalism that people, everything, including people, becomes commodified. But it is extremely disappointing to have like a YouTuber that I used to admire engage in that sort of behavior. You
Yeah,
know,
become basically just a capitalist.
essentially,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Um, he then made like a 2 minute 31-second advertisement after a couple of months. Um, then he had Bill Burr as a guest on his
Right.
podcast, which started off mostly positive. But just the fact that he was like such a big guest, and someone Ethan admired, it amplified Ethan's nervousness,
Mm-hmm.
and that culminated in some cringy moments on the podcast. To sum it up in short, Ethan was interrupted of Bill Burr, um, and when Bill Burr insulted Ethan in jest, Ethan took it as like a genuine insult.
Right. He took it personally.
Yeah, he took. Yeah, exactly. He couldn't take a fucking joke,
Mm-hmm.
and he invited a freaking comedian
Yeah.
on. Just like he knew Bill Burr was a
What did he
comedian,
think
and he
would happen?
still like couldn't. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just ignorant. Ethan, you
You
fucked up.
fucked up big time.
You fucked up,
You,
Ethan. Like,
yeah, you
sorry,
fucked up.
big time on this
Mm-hmm.
one, man. So that was another major L.
That's a huge L.
Yeah. Bill Burr at one point was like, "You're a cynical guy," which, if you know Bill Burr, that is
Yeah.
absurd. That Bill Burr, you have to be really cynical for Bill Burr to be saying that you're a cynical
You
guy,
have to be the most cynical
right?
person ever.
You have to be even more cynical than Diogenes
Yeah,
himself,
exactly. Right?
right?
Oh man.
Anyways, Bill Burr mentioned his family. Ethan wanted to know how many siblings he had, and Bill Burr refused because, like, the internet is full of messed up
Right.
people. He doesn't want to put that information
Yeah.
out there. But Ethan kept pestering him about it.
Ethan's always pestering people, it seems.
Yeah, just a cringe
Yeah,
interview.
definitely.
Yeah. And Bill Burr at the end, was just like a total good sport about it. He was like, "I had a great time."
Yeah.
But Ethan just like kept failing, kept doing cringe shit.
Yeah, he became cringe, so quick.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically, this was the sixth podcast in a row that was poorly
Mm-hmm.
received. But that essentially meant that 1 in 14 of Ethan's podcasts would like perform badly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not that bad,
That's not horrible.
honestly, for content creation. Yeah, no, that's honestly pretty good. That's a
That's
pretty solid,
solid, yeah.
pretty secure revenue stream. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like.
Mm-hmm.
And all 6 of these podcasts were responsible for Gokunaru's video, The Death of H3H3 Productions,
Right.
in October of 2018.
Mm-hmm.
To really summarize his video, he criticized basically everything we've been talking about, like all the videos where Ethan took like a major L.
Yeah. Which is like all the time.
Like he didn't give. Yeah, like for instance, he didn't give that guy with the coughing beanie. He didn't give him the respect that
that he
he
deserved.
gave to larger content creators. Yeah, yeah.
I respect that guy. He's a proletariat.
Yeah, no, he's a cool guy.
Mhm.
I watch all of his videos.
We should get him on here.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely treat him better than fucking Ethan would.
Yeah, fuck Ethan Klein.
He's a fucking asshole, yeah.
Fucking dick.
dickwad.
Yeah, fuck him. Fuck you,
He can
Ethan.
go. He can go sit on a fucking dildo, Ethan.
Yeah, he can go fuck himself.
You diaper muncher. You diaper fuck.
You fucking asshole. Fuck you.
Ethan reacted to a
Piece of
video called Ted Cruz slam dunk fail, but it turns out it wasn't Ted Cruz in the video.
That's an L.
But even though he acknowledged it, he still had like the clickbait title Ted Cruz slam dunk fail.
Yeah, loser. Clickbait loser.
Blatant yeah. Like honestly, yeah. Fucking loser. Clickbaiting.
Fuck you. Piece of shit.
Anyways, he had a video. It was on its way to hit 1 million views, but it created a lot of sizable hate.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically addressed the criticisms that people were levying against him. That he was greedy. He throws people under the bus. He spreads misinformation. He's arrogant.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, you know what? I'm guilty of all those things, in a moment of self-awareness and clarity.
Yeah.
Which I think is actually, honestly, kind of commendable. He admitted that
Yeah, that's not bad.
he was guilty of that. Yeah, I mean, at least, I mean, that's like, from there, that's like the first step of fixing a problem, is admitting that you have a problem,
Taking responsibility.
Yeah. And like when he gets criticized, he psychologically shuts down.
Mm-hmm.
Is what he said. Which, I mean, I can relate to that, I guess.
Sure.
But people said that he was using that as an excuse. But other people were happy to see that he acknowledged those things. So kind of a mixed reception.
Yeah.
And he wasn't like acknowledging those heavily criticized podcasts directly. He was just like being sort of like, generally speaking, I do X, Y, and Z. He wasn't like, oh, in this particular instance, I did this thing that was wrong. He just says like vaguely like, oh, sometimes I'm like this, sometimes I'm like that,
Mm-hmm.
And so people were saying that like he's not absolved of it just because he acknowledged the issues.
Right.
Goku Naru mentioned that Ethan did once promote a smaller channel who had like less than 1 million
Mm-hmm.
subscribers. But Ethan shadow banned Goku Naru from his comment sections.
What a dick.
Yeah, which I mean, it almost sort of like nullifies the whole
Yeah.
video that he made, like addressing the criticism. It's like clearly you aren't willing to change if you're gonna shadow ban your greatest critic.
Exactly.
You know.
Fuck you, Ethan.
He later had Bill Burr again on his podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and this podcast episode showed that Ethan had improved as a podcast host
Yeah.
because it wasn't as bad,
Mm-hmm.
you know, as the first time. It was very almost redemptive,
Yeah.
almost a redemption for the H3
Yeah.
podcast, you could say.
Mm-hmm.
Goku Naru's video was taken down by the YouTube's policy on harassment and bullying. Which is because Goku Naru had like a funny skit at the end where Ethan is executed.
Right.
And so that's why it got taken down.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like there were worse videos that weren't taken down at all on YouTube. So I mean, it's like who's to say why this video was taken down? You know, I mean, I I I, I certainly have my suspicions.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I certainly have an idea, have a theory myself on who took that video
I
down.
wonder.
Yeah, it makes you really makes you dink.
Mm-hmm. Really dinks you dink.
Really gets the noggin jogging.
Mm-hmm.
Really activates my almonds. Right.
Right.
Anyways, it didn't help that Ethan didn't fight for the reinstatement of Goku Naru's video.
I wonder why.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like it was like a whole violation of his principles, basically. Which was like the absurd part is like normally he would stick up for a video like that, but yeah, for some strange reason, not this one.
I wonder.
Yeah, really crazy how nature do that, you know.
Mm-hmm. It would have been so dank if Ethan fought for it.
Yeah. But he didn't. He wasn't dank anymore. He sold his soul.
Exactly.
The old Ethan, just dead,
Gone.
completely dead.
Gone.
Ethan was accused of donation shaming Jeff Bezos, which, I mean, it is kind of messed up to donation shame someone.
Yeah.
If we're being real,
true.
like Jeff Bezos, obviously, you know, a real prick that guy
Mhm.
is. But I mean, we have principles for a reason, right?
Exactly.
I mean, Ethan, like the hypocrisy of that is that Ethan himself is basically bourgeois. You know,
Yeah.
he lives in like a $10 million home.
He's petit bourgeois.
Well, I wouldn't call him petite. But
He's fupa bourgeois.
Yeah, he's fupa bourgeois.
Bourgeois, man. Oh, man.
Okay, is there anything else you want to add?
On behalf of H3H3 Production, Ethan Klein released a game on the App Store and Google Play. The game is called H3H3 Ball Rider. It was developed by Canada-based independent video game development company Outer Minds in 2018.
Oh, so he has a game now.
Apparently.
Interesting. It's probably mid,
yes,
but I'm
I
gonna
don't
check
think
it
it'll
out
be dank.
Yeah, like, just like, I mean, he's at like the trough.
Yeah.
You know, like he was at the peak before, now he's at
eating
the trough.
shit.
He's eating shit, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rock bottom. So it wouldn't surprise me if his game just like sucked ass.
Wasn't dank, yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know, I'll give it a fair shot. It's because, I mean, unlike him, I'm principled.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Anything else?
That's all for me. I think we covered everything.
All for you? Alright, yeah. Thank you guys for listening. Like I said, we made this video basically to just further contextualize the whole drama currently surrounding Ethan regarding the Israel-Palestine thing. So hopefully this gives you like some much needed background on who this guy is, his peak, and his fall, which he's still falling right now.
Yeah.
You know, he's still tanking. Just when you think he couldn't get any lower,
he's
he
getting
just
lower.
Keeps plummeting. So yeah, thank you guys for listening. We'll be back again with more episodes soon. Yeah,
See you guys.